Welcome to Sports Banner. This is Bryce, and I'm joined by Luca. And today we are here on week 2 of the weekly wrestling recap. So, first, we're going to go into the New Japan shows in Hiroshima that just happened. We're going to go quickly through just the important parts of the shows. Like on night 1, the Gorillas of Destiny retained by disqualification. Luca,
Mm-hmm.
what do you have
Uh,
thoughts?
y- yeah, yeah, I do have thoughts on this ending. So the overall match was very good in my opinion. Every man looked great. The ending was sort of gimmicky and I felt lackluster. I understand the story, which I didn't know about while I was watching the match. But to me, I still feel like the ending sort of ruined it for me. But I still enjoyed it. I think it's about like a 7 out of 10.
Look, I get it. I get it with the Iron Fingers thing. I think it's good storytelling, but at the same time, you didn't have to have that long of a match and then end it by DQ. I could see why people are like disappointed. It went 29 minutes
Yeah.
and then it ended by DQ.
Hmm.
So like I can see why. You like that's kind of the general consensus is that the finish ruined it kind of thing. But that's all
Hmm.
right. Next match,
Yeah.
Hiromu retains against Show. I'd say it was a pretty solid match.
Yeah. Yeah, I very much enjoyed it. Like I've said before, I've never really seen a show match, so he was new to me. I thought he did very well. I think he's probably had better matches. I know for sure Takahashi's had better matches,
Yeah.
but overall, I enjoyed it. I would say it's probably about the same level as the tag match for me. The ending was cool seeing LP come in and beat up everyone. So that's gonna be interesting where that goes. Yeah, I enjoyed the match. It was the right man won in my opinion, but Show proved that he can hang with them.
Yeah. Honestly, just I felt like I had high expectations for this match and I was a little disappointed because like okay, it was still
Mhm.
a good match, but I know they both had the potential to have one of the best matches and it just didn't happen tonight, which is okay. I
Mhm.
mean, they're both going to have many matches ahead of them this year. But yeah, it was one of those
Mhm.
things where I was expecting the main event. This is going to be a banger. Didn't quite happen, but it's all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
On to night 2, Evil and Kazuchika Okada. It was interesting because they ended it on a double countout, and then they restarted the match into a special singles match between Okada and Evil, and I was genuinely shocked that they did this. But then it made sense about 5 minutes in. Dick Togo blatantly attacks Okada, and Evil gets away. Yada yada yada. I mean, we don't have to go over it.
Mhm.
Like, they just kind of a spoiler for Luca. I don't think you know they're having a main event match at Castle Attack.
And no, I already knew that. I looked at Castle Attack after I watched the pay-per-view.
Okay, so yeah, they're gonna fight at Castle Attack. Anyways, Chaos retains the 6-man belts. Why didn't I see this coming? I was high on Bullet Club. I for some reason thought Bullet Club would win. It makes sense.
um, it No, yeah, the retain makes sense. I really liked this match. Classic Jay White stuff with trying to piss off Ishii and then hiding, all that kind of stuff. God looked great like they did the night before. Um, I'll give it to Yoshihashi, man. He was in the match for the majority of the time.
Yeah.
He looked good. He was getting his butt kicked for most of the time. Uh, Ishii looked fine. Goto looked fine. Yeah, overall, I really enjoyed the match. I'm feeling like a 8 out of 10 on this one. And I would have loved to see Bullet Club win, but definitely right move for the retain.
Yeah, I think too that you didn't see this after the match because it was in the backstage comments, but Jay White and God literally just they laid out chaos backstage, like straight up ambushed them,
Yeah.
and that was badass to see.
Well, they're all fighting each other, right? Like
Yeah,
Ishii's gonna go against Jay White, Goto, Tama. Yeah.
and that's cool because Goto and Yoshihashi actually have special singles matches against Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa.
I don't think I've ever seen the two God members fight without each other.
I've seen it, but
So
that's
that's
just
gonna
because
be
New
cool.
Japan's strong. But yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
you know, I don't know if you know, but Tama Tonga used to be just a singles wrestler.
I did not know that.
Yeah, Tama Tonga actually used to be in the G1.
I didn't, I did not know that at
I
all.
mean, yeah,
When
they
he's
kind of stopped a
dang.
little recently, like a couple years ago. But I remember, I believe it was G1 27 when Kenny Omega was the champion. Tama Tonga was one of the participants in the G1.
The 2016 the 2016 G1,
I don't.
and then he was also in the 2017
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah. Gotcha.
Well, that was 2017 was when I was first getting into wrestling, so I didn't even know what NJPW was at the time.
Oh, okay. I
So
didn't even realize that.
I'm gonna get yeah, no, I didn't get into wrestling until like halfway through high school or something.
Shoot. Yeah, you. All right. I was not aware. But and then of course the main event of the night, Ibushi versus Sonata. It was a really good match. Like in my
Yeah.
opinion, nothing too groundbreaking, but still, when you have Ibushi versus Sonata, it's gonna be a good match.
Mhm. Uh, yeah, I definitely agree. I loved the ending with Ibushi doing a little kick combo into the Kamagoya. I thought that
Hmm.
was very nice. Besides that, yeah, it was pretty solid. Both it a match between Ibushi Sonata can't go horrible. This is probably about the standard I would see these two going against each other on. It obviously probably could have been a 10 out of 10, 5-star match, but I don't think it quite went that great. But it was still solid, still a good title match. Sonata looked great. It wasn't a dirty ending or anything like that. Bushi looked good. I think it was overall, yeah, a solid match.
Yeah. Okay. I'm actually not gonna give a match of the night. I was going to, but I like I don't know. Maybe I give it to the never open weight match. I never thought I'd say that, but I mean,
I liked the never open weight match the most,
I
but
kind of did too. Like this match, it I feel the same with this that I did with Hiromu's match. Like it could have been better, but it was still pretty good.
yeah,
I'm more excited to talk about with
yeah, you're
you.
not wrong.
I'm more excited to talk about with you Naito coming out and only challenging for the Intercontinental Championship. What do you think about that?
I think him only challenging for the Intercontinental Championship and not the Double Championship is good. I didn't want to see Naito in the title picture again, but if he's only doing one of the belts, I think that's fine. I actually hope he wins it so the belts, so I'm done with the Double Championship stuff. We've had to deal with the Double Champ stuff for a long time right now, so I sort of want to see a different change of pace.
Yeah.
And Naito's a great champion. So I'm excited for the title match, and yeah, I'm predicting Naito to win. There's no way they're gonna have Naito. It's Naito. I don't think he's gonna lose.
Right.
So that's how I see it.
Right. I mean, Naito's logic's very clear. He said in the ring that he feels that since he got pinned at Tokyo Dome, he doesn't deserve to challenge for both belts. And so he's only challenging for the Intercontinental Championship. I think that's really good. I am personally against Ibushi's claim of wanting to unify the belts. I do not like that idea at all. Um, what
Mhm.
else? Naito actually proposed the idea beforehand. Like when he first won the belts, he wanted to defend each of them separately. And so I feel like I've been
Mhm.
waiting for this moment for like a year now. They're actually going to start doing it.
Mhm.
And for that reason, I want Naito to win because I don't want there to be any chance that Ibushi unifies the belts.
Mhm.
So yeah, those are all my thoughts about
Yeah,
that.
I 100% agree.
All right. Well, if you don't have anything else to say, Luca,
Yeah.
then we could transition over.
Mm. All right. Yeah.
Now talking about Dynamite, man, it was a really good episode of Dynamite.
Yes, definitely.
I think it was one of the better Dynamite shows, maybe of the year.
Um, yeah, I agree. And the funny thing is apparently the NXT show that was on last week was like one of the best NXTs of the year too.
Really,
So just a good week for wrestling.
I
Yeah.
I probably need to go watch it back then because I didn't know that. That's really
All the
cool.
build up for Pete Dunne and Finn Balor's supposedly been very well. Yeah.
Okay,
Anyways, we're talking about AEW,
that's
not
true. That's
NXT.
true.
Uh,
First thing I wanted to talk about was Kenta's Dynamite debut, and man, that was just so exciting to see.
yeah, definitely. He looked pretty good for what Kenta can do. I mean, he's in the ring with Lance Archer. What more do you want from him? He's
Right.
very small compared to him. But yeah, Kenta looked good. Nothing too amazing from him, but he looked solid. He didn't botch
Oh no, the
anything.
spot where he
And
jumped off the stage and double foot stomped Moxley through the
yeah, that was
table,
nice.
dude, that was so clean.
The table didn't break though, right? I
No,
think
it
that
didn't
that's sort
break,
of. I think they were hoping for the table to
but it
break,
still looked cool
but yeah, it was a nice
because it was
spot.
kind of like an out of nowhere
I
thing.
I enjoyed that. Yeah, because they thought they were gonna do more stuff with the announcer's desk. I enjoyed the main event
Oh,
overall. It
I
was
did
really
too.
fun. The only thing I didn't like is how they recapped half the show in the middle of the half of the match in the middle of
Yeah,
the match. I didn't really like that,
yeah.
but I get why they
It
did
was
it.
kind of a critical,
Um,
yeah, people were very critical on that part. I mean, I get it too. It just kind of interrupts the flow of the match, being like, here's what happened in the match that you've been watching.
yeah, and didn't and when it got to the kitchen part, didn't who is it? Who is it? Who is it? The commentator. I forgot his name. Um,
The
the one with the mask.
Excalibur.
Excalibur, didn't he call the table a metal surface? And JR was like, well, that's a table. Or something like that. It was something funny.
Yeah. Oh, the
Yeah.
potato spots were
Uh,
killing
it's-
me.
that part was
He
good.
potatoed him.
Yeah, I just really liked that match.
That match, it was really freaking
It
good.
sucked art. It would hurt seeing any of those guys taking the pinfall. I get Archer was the one who took it.
It makes
Um,
sense. They
but
did it well
sort of
though.
sucked. Yeah, he's not. Yeah, I liked how he had to get the Good Brothers to help him hit the One Winged
That's kind
Angel.
of how you protect Archer in that situation. Also, one of the things
True.
that got me
Yeah.
most hype about the match, they played Kenta's music. I was not expecting
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Full on Kenta New Japan music. Like I was expecting him to come out with Omega or something because they didn't have the rights to his song or they didn't have the rights to Shot 'em, which is Bullet Club's theme song.
Oh. oh, Hey. Okay. This is something to do with AEW. Did you hear that they are going to trademark the term Forbidden Door?
Really. I mean,
That could lead to a special Dynamite or a pay-per-view called AEW Forbidden Door.
I don't know how I
Just
feel about
saying.
that.
You can make your mind run. Yeah, I think it's a cheesy
That's
name,
way too cheesy,
but I don't know
and
why they're trademarking
they
it.
already broke down the Forbidden Door with Kenta. I'm just more excited about
True.
this really opens up because so far we'd only seen like the crossover between AEW and NWA, and then now more recently AEW and Impact. But now this has opened up a lot
Yeah.
more with New Japan Pro Wrestling star Kenta on Dynamite.
And and to be fair, at least in my opinion, I thought this was always going to happen. Not necessarily Kenta, but how each company was letting Moxley fight in the G1 and that kind of stuff.
Well,
This was always going to
I don't
happen.
think so. It was a special case. I mean, I know AW's contract situation's very lenient to where it allows competitors to work for other companies. So I always thought
Yeah.
that Moxley and Jericho were just special cases, like how Moxley can wrestle in New Japan and
Uh,
AEW, and Chris Jericho could
Yeah.
too. Yeah, but I think that
Yeah, you're not wrong. But
this
yeah,
could lead into
anyways,
more, more crossover between the products. I'm really excited to see what that can
yeah.
bring.
And I'm liking the crossover between Ryan Nemeth and his brother Dolph Ziggler. I'm loving
Oh,
that
yeah, that
crossover and that little
crossover on
feud
Twitter.
they're having.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then what Pac used the same submission. He's made both of them tap out, right?
I
I think that's what it
I
is.
don't think because the Rings of Saturn was or okay, it was called the Rings of Saturn in WWE, but like he really only used that when he was a heel, and when he was a heel, he was the king of the cruiserweights. So I don't think he made
True,
Ziggler
but I
tap
feel
out.
like he.
I
I'm pretty sure they've gone against each other though. They may have not tapped him out, but
no,
I know for sure they've gone
he
against each
probably did
other.
pin him with the now Black Arrow. I really
Gotcha.
I don't know,
Okay.
but shout out before we get to more of the AEW New Japan stuff. Shout out to Layla Hirsch versus Thunder Rosa. That was a good freaking match. I was digging it.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was one of the better matches from the night. Um, yeah, I would have actually liked to seen Hirsch get the win, but Rosa makes sense. She's a bigger
Nah.
star.
Yeah, I
But
was pulling for Thunder
it
Rosa.
was a good
Hirsch is a
match.
little green in my eyes. I mean, she'll get there eventually. She's talented.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're getting on to now AEW. They had a little mini press conference with the Good Brothers, Callis and Omega, and they really
Mhm.
did not care what they said. They talked about Bullet Club, talked about Brother Switchblade, Jay White, Tama Tonga, and all that.
Mhm.
Basically, they said support our brothers in the Bullet Club in Japan, while also calling them mid carders and burying them. So, Luca, what do you think about this whole
Yeah.
dynamic?
I'm loving it. It's classic Don Callis, classic Good Brothers. Just being absolute goofballs is how I
Oh
see it.
yeah.
And yeah, I like the competition because uh Tom was it Tama Tonga or Tonga Law that's been like saying stuff on Twitter about like, oh, we do the best
Oh,
gun stun
it's
or we're
always
the
Tama
real Bullet
Tonga.
Club.
It's always Tama Tonga.
Tama Tonga, yeah. So he's already been saying this kind of stuff. So obviously they're gonna say something back. And none of this is in poor sport or whatever. This is all in good fun. So yeah, I'm loving
I
it. I
mean,
think it's awesome.
shout out to Tama Tonga. I literally don't know if Tama Tonga will ever show up on Dynamite because he has blurred the lines so much in my eyes. He has made me believe that he will never step foot in Jacksonville, Florida, to do AEW Dynamite.
I think he will eventually. I think
Yeah,
like a huge Bullet Club thing will happen.
I can see that too. I think that'd be very interesting. And something that I discussed with you, Luca, is maybe AEW lending over some of its stars to the New Japan of America, how they're trying to get that started up, and they're trying to do tours.
Mhm.
They still aren't at that stage yet, but that was their whole business model before the pandemic, was getting those shows all
Yeah.
across the states. And what better way to draw them in with the AEW champion Kenny Omega, the AEW World Tag Team Champions and the Young Bucks, or maybe also the Impact World Champions in the Good Brothers.
Yeah, no, that would really help New Japan. The only problem with that is that even though AEW is big, is popular, they're gonna hurt if they don't have young Bucks on their show. They're gonna hurt if they don't have Kenny Omega on their show. They're gonna hurt if they don't have someone like Darby Allin or Cody Rhodes on their
Well,
show.
that's
Yeah, they have a
true.
lot of talent, but those big names are what bringing in the
Well,
fans.
they're not going to throw all of them on one
AEW's
show.
I agree, that is true, but AEW's got to be a little smart with it because they don't want to act bigger than what they really
Oh,
are. They're
they
not even
will.
close to the WWE level yet.
Yeah, no.
So they got to be smart with who they lend out.
Yeah.
But I hope it happens. I hope there's more
Well,
crossovers. They just got to be smart with
I
it.
was I was being very dramatic when I was saying those names. Ultimately, I don't even think Omega or the Young Bucks should appear on that. I would lend out the talent that has nothing to do right now. Like, I don't know. Who doesn't have a program right now that's like really talented?
I have a name, even though he fought last week, Joey Janela, but I don't think he'd work too well with the NJPW
No.
kind of
Matt
guys.
Seidel would be very interesting.
Oh yeah, yeah, he fits well with them. Yeah,
He fits
he's
well with the
probably
whole
one of the
New
better
Japan of
ones.
America thing. That that would be amazing to see. I don't know off
Hmm.
the top of my head who else, but I just think that the partnership could be beneficial. Could be beneficial to the younger talent too. Like I know they're hot right now, but some members of the Dark Order, allowing them to go to
Yeah,
Japan
they definitely.
and kind of become more seasoned veterans, I think that would definitely help them. The
Yeah,
ultimate
I
dream of
agree.
mine is seeing a few AEW wrestlers in the best of the Super Juniors or in the G1. I
Yeah,
think us like
that might be a while.
yeah, I think so too. And it would have to be the right guy because he would have to be someone that would be a draw in Japan while also being able to not be on Dynamite for a good bit.
You could always put Lance Archer back there.
Yeah, but the problem is if you take him off, like the problem with all this is that if you take Lance Archer off a month for TV, he's gonna lose steam.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
think in the right circumstance it could work though.
Yeah. Anyways, how are you feeling about that acclaimed MJF Jericho match? I
Okay, so like I think it was pretty good. I forgot to even mention the
yeah.
whole aftermath of that too. But the acclaimed, they're growing on me. I think they're really growing on me. I'm really appreciating them now.
Mhm.
They're really doing some good
Uh,
stuff.
the they're still just all right to me, but yeah, the only thing I really wanted to talk about this match was the ending. Guevara coming, or the post match,
Yes.
really. Guevara coming out and saying he just quits.
The whole
I think
storyline.
that.
Yeah, the whole storyline like that played out last or Wednesday night on Dynamite. That was fantastic.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Besides the
I don't necessarily love Sammy leaving
mhm.
the inner circle because I feel like there's definitely more stuff he could do with them. But he's gonna get a massive push with this, so I'm glad that he's getting a push.
I'm all for the face turn because just because everyone's gravitated towards Sammy, like he is the high
Yeah.
flyer, the young guy. We just love to cheer Sammy Guevara when the inner circle comes out. So turning him face is something that could work. You know what else I could see? I think he'd be a little bit before this happens, but
Mhm.
Jericho also turning face just because he's so appreciated.
Jericho turned face?
No, no, I didn't say that. I said if he turns face.
I don't know if he will. I think
It could
look,
work.
I think I don't know. I really don't know where this story's gonna go
Me
yet.
neither.
Because I don't know if MJF's gonna still stay for Inner Circle for a long time or not. I don't know
That'd be kind of cool to
yet.
see, though. Anyways,
Yeah.
we're gonna move on now to the WWE side of things, in which we're gonna talk about some elimination chamber matches. All right, the elimination chamber. I am so excited for these two matches, and I just want to start off by laying out the first match announced on Raw. The WWE Championship will be defended in the chamber. You got Drew McIntyre, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, Sheamus, AJ Styles, and The Miz. Luca, how are you feeling about this match?
Oh, I'm loving this. I love every single competitor in it. I think it's going to be incredible. There's going to, of course, be a wild Jeff Hardy spot in this.
Absolutely.
Um, I think I think the actual chamber match, I think McIntyre is going to retain. I don't think they're going to. I think he'll probably have the belt at WrestleMania. He might lose it before then, but I think he'll have the belt. Um, but I don't see him losing in this match. Um, this might build up to a Sheamus 1v1 fight later on because I know they're sort of feuding right
Yeah.
now. Of course, Randy Orton's in it because him and McIntyre have fought in the past. Styles is in it just because it's Styles. Hardy's in it because he's going to do something crazy. The interesting one to me is The Miz. The Miz has no reason to win this match, but what could happen is Miz gets out early and then just comes back at the end and cashes in. Or he might cash in for the Universal Championship, which will be on the pay-per-view too. I Even though I thought he was going to cash in last pay-per-view at Royal Rumble, I can really see him cashing in now. I really see it happening at Elimination Chamber. But I think the actual chamber match, McIntyre will probably retain.
Yeah. I'm gonna preface this real quick. Drew McIntyre will not walk out of this pay-per-view as the champion. That is my opinion on it.
Okay.
He will not be leaving with the belt. I'm a little split right now because I think he could very well win the match but lose the title to The Miz, cashing in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. There are only three people that I see winning this match. It's McIntyre, Miz, or Randy Orton.
Yeah.
And I don't really know if Randy Orton is the right choice because it would open
Not
up
right this
yeah,
second.
no. It would probably everyone would think that Edge would be facing Orton, which I don't think is going to happen. Ultimately, I'm just going to go with this.
Uh
McIntyre wins the match, Miz cashes in, Miz wins, and then they have a rematch at Mania. Miz versus Drew McIntyre.
That could happen, but I'm not sure if that's a big enough match for a WrestleMania match. I love The Miz,
Well,
but I'm not sure if that happened.
you can't have two, usually there aren't two huge like main card title matches. One of them is going to be the smaller bout. I think this will be the smaller bout because ultimately I think that the Universal
True.
Championship is going to be Roman Reigns versus Edge. That's going to be the
Yeah,
huge
yeah,
main event match that last year that McIntyre versus Lesnar was.
yeah.
The Miz versus McIntyre could very much be an opening
You're
match type deal at Mania.
you're
I'm
right.
being
You're
completely
right.
honest. Wasn't last year? Wasn't the was the Universal title defended? I'm pretty sure it was.
You're thinking of you're thinking of the Seth Rollins Brock Lesnar fight when they fought first match of the night. Is that what you're thinking of?
No, I'm not talking about that at all. I'm asking if the Universal title was
Oh,
defended last year at
the un-
Mania.
uh Brock Lesnar had
Pretty sure that was the WWE
had
Championship.
one of the belts, WWE Championship, and
That
then
doesn't.
the other.
Um,
Who would have been the other champion?
for some reason I'm thinking Goldberg, but that
I
I
think it
really
was
don't
it
know.
was it not Kofi Kingston? No, he won it the year
No, no, no,
before
no.
then.
Where is it?
Who was
As
it?
soon as I
Yeah, it
freaking
was
find it.
Goldberg. It was Goldberg. It was that horrible match between him and Strowman. I forgot about that match completely. Strowman won that. Yeah.
Like I
I
said,
completely forgot about Braun Strowman having the Universal Championship.
yeah, like
That
I
was a
said,
horrible match. Holy
one
crap.
match has to be the lesser of the two, and I think this Raw match is going to be the lesser of
Yeah,
the two
that
at
oh
Mania.
man, last year's WrestleMania. Last year's WrestleMania was not that
I
great.
didn't
There's
watch
some
it.
good matches in
I didn't
there.
even watch it.
Um but both of the cinematic matches were really
I
good.
did hear that though.
Um
All right. Well,
and the Edge Orton match I liked a lot, but some people hated.
yeah, I mean, it's just because when you call it the greatest match ever or whatever they built it as, I mean, it's
No,
not
no, no,
gonna
no.
be.
That was the second one. That was the second one.
Oh,
No, the first one at WrestleMania was the last man standing match. It went on for a long time. That's why some people didn't like it.
gotcha. All right. Well, I just want to get through the second match of the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, King Corbin against Kevin Owens against Cesaro against Daniel Bryan versus Sami Zayn versus Jey Uso. The winner faces Roman Reigns later in the pay-per-view.
Yes. Um, I I sort of don't know who's gonna win this. There are interesting cases for each competitor. The ones who probably won't win it are Cesaro and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's been popular for over the past couple months,
Yeah,
but I don't think he's gonna go against Roman Reigns. I would love to see Cesaro win it. That would be amazing. But it's WWE. They won't let Cesaro
they're
do
not gonna do
anything.
it.
Um, Jey Uso makes sort of sense. Kevin Owens makes sense, of course. King Corbin's still sort of in any kind of title picture. And then Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's the person I want to win. I love Daniel Bryan. I want him to, I think he'll retire soon, like, stay retired.
Yeah,
I think that's going to come up sooner rather than later. So I want him to have a couple more big matches. So I would love Daniel Bryan to win. I I could see this is a huge KO classic Kevin Owens KO thing to win the Elimination Chamber match and then just beat Roman Reigns. That is a KO kind of thing.
yeah.
So I think anything could happen with this chamber match. I'm pulling for Daniel Bryan.
I'm
Sorry. I'm pulling for Daniel Bryan though.
Yeah, I'm completely on a different level. I'm on a different page than you on this. Just because, okay, I mean, we're gonna make a
Okay.
prediction video like a lot later, but right now, I know there's gonna be some BS that happens. Jey Uso wins the match. Jey Uso lays down for Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
I feel like that's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Just to,
I got
and
you.
then
Yeah.
Edge comes out and says, "I'm gonna challenge you, Roman, at WrestleMania," and then that whole thing
That's true.
happens.
Ooh. Hey. Hey. I'm just saying. Imagine Edge versus Daniel Bryan. That would be awesome.
That would
But
be
yeah. No. Edge
awesome.
versus Roman's gonna be
But
great.
no, I think Jey Uso's gonna ultimately win it by some BS. Who knows? Jimmy Uso can come back and also join in with this tribal chief thing that Roman's doing.
Yeah.
I That's just how I'm seeing it right now. That would be a bummer though, because
Yeah. No.
that would be such a
That's
bummer.
not a bad take though.
Yeah, it's just how I feel right now. But I think that's it for the wrestling recap this week. I want to thank you all for watching. If you'd like to watch more sports, be sure to scroll through the channel, find a sport you like, and go ahead and listen to it. Maybe play some games while doing it. I mean, you don't have to watch, you just have to listen. That's all.
Yeah. It's just a picture that we post. That's it.
Yeah. All right. Well, without further ado, I will see you all, or we will see you all in the next one.